Hi, I'm Lisa, and this is Elizaveta. She is my now 15-week-old diabetes alert service dog in training, and we've now had her for just a little bit over a month. So I figured I would come on and just kind of give an update on how she's doing. She's really had some good changes in the last week as far as obedience training, blood sugar training, pretty much everything. So we've been training Elizaveta now pretty much from day 2 that we had her. And if you're wondering what she is chewing on, this is a Woof pup feeder, and it has a chicken peanut butter snack inside, which she absolutely loves. So this is one of the things that I use when I just need a break or I need to get something done and I want to keep her busy and entertained, is give her a little snack in the slow feeder, and it will take her about 30 to 45 minutes to eat. And it also teaches her patience. So Elizaveta is now on step 6 of Libby Rockaway's Diabetes Alert Service Dog Training book. That's what we're using to train her as far as the low blood sugar alerts. And we've added step 7 a little bit, but she's really mainly on step 6 at this time. And once you hit step 6, you start adding in step 7, step 8, before moving on to the next step. And she's doing really good with it. So on my own, I've kind of started to give her like 2-cent sample tins at the beginning of a blood sugar training session. And one of them will have a sample in it, one of them won't. She's now at 100%. She will smell both and then basically lay down in front of the one that is correct, start pawing, doing her alerting. So I think she's getting it at this point, but it's such a long, slow process and very time consuming. And she's nowhere near like live alerting or anything like that yet. But they say that one day they just may start live alerting, or they may be more like Cooper, where Cooper, who's now 9, our diabetes alert service dog that we've had for 8 years. When we got him, he was not doing any live alerting. He was just doing blood sugar scent games, which we continued with him. All of his meals were fed through games. And then I think it was about 4 to 6 months after we had him, all of a sudden he pieced it together and he started live alerting. And then everything else was history. So Cooper has just been outstanding for the past 8 years that we've had him, and we're really, really hoping that Elizaveta can learn from him, and also just learning through her own training. We're really hopeful that she will also become a very good diabetes alert service dog. As far as our public access training, she's pretty little. That socialization window is just closing pretty soon. So we're not doing a ton with her. I'm taking her out like 5 times a week, maybe for 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes. And we're doing very short outings like to Lowe's, or going through a drive-through, or taking a drive and then, rolling down the windows so she can hear lots of different sights and sounds. We've been to a local feed store. What else have we done? Oh, a couple times I've taken her up to the clubhouse where we live. There's a really big pool there with just a ton of kids, a lot of noise, and it's a very active place. We actually went there today, and there were a couple kids playing in the tennis courts, and one of the balls rolled. The kid went running like towards us, and it actually kind of scared her. So I'm not sure if she's starting to go into that second fear period, but basically, we stopped at that point. I gave her, treat, 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 while the kid was close enough where she looked just a little nervous still. And so through taking her out the last week or two, I've really been able to figure out things that I need to continue to work on with her, like things I need to focus on. So one of them, of course, is distractions. But again, she's a 15-week-old puppy. And puppies, you cannot expect a lot out of them. I mean, I actually feel very lucky that she's where she's at and she's doing the things she is doing through obedience training. It's actually pretty incredible considering that she is so young. And the majority of the time, she is a puppy. And she gets to do puppy things. And puppies make really bad choices a lot of the time. So be it with the cats or, just with anything. So we have baby gates set up throughout the house now, and she pretty much has to stay in one little area with me. She still has her house lead on, which is right here at all times. And that is so if she does make a bad puppy decision and I can just step on this and stop her from doing what she's starting to do, sometimes it has to do with the cats. She pretty much leaves the cats alone except for Linus, our Sphynx. So Linus has decided that she is his playmate. And he also has decided that he will no longer run from her, that he will pretty much just lay down and let her do whatever she wants to him. She has decided that he makes a really nice chew toy. So she pretty much he will just lay down and stop, and she will just very lightly na on him, leaving little tiny marks on his little naked sphinx skin before I can stop and, put him up. But I don't know why he's doing that. It's kind of comical because he really actually likes playing with her, and he instigates a lot of play with her. But sometimes she is just making me nuts with going after Linus. She really leaves the other two cats alone at this point. She also steals the cat toys a lot, so it's a lot of redirection at this point where I have to take something away from her, give her something that she can have. And we've also been really focusing on place this last week. She's getting pretty good at it. Today I actually kind of tested it out where I put her in place on her bed and told her to stay, and I went in a completely different room. I had to get my bag ready to leave and came back, and she was still in place before I said all free, and she was able to get up. So the things that I'm looking at as far as successes at this point, it's like those little wins, like here and there where she does things that I ask her to do. And then of course a lot of redirection, a lot of just normal puppy behavior, and just kind of doing the best we can at this point. Things have gotten a lot easier in the last, I would say, week to 2 weeks over the first few weeks where it was just crazy. She's pretty much housebroken at this point. We haven't had any accidents in the house, and I think it's been about 2 weeks except for one accident that she had at my parents' house that was my fault. But otherwise, she has been really good as far as housebreaking. I am giving her a little bit more freedom as far as like at night when I want to go to bed and I'm tired, I will let her get on the bed with the dogs. We do allow our dogs on the bed at this house. You have to do what works for you. We let the pets on the bed. So she pretty much is allowed to stay on the bed until I get really tired or I've fallen asleep a couple times, and then I wake up and I'll stick her in her crate. She does not have any accidents in her crate at this time. I've only left her, I think, twice now in her crate where I've actually left the house and done something without her, but I've pretty much been on puppy duty for the last month that we've had her. And shout out to my husband, Michael, because I am so thankful that he has allowed me to take this time off to really get her a good foundation and get her training going, which I really feel is so important. So if anyone's thinking about self-training, I guess any words of wisdom I would have would just be understand what you're going into and the amount of time that it takes. I think that's what surprised me the most. I've raised puppies before in the past. The amount of time that it has taken to integrate Elizaveta into our family of pets. Of course, we have 2 other dogs, one being a diabetes alert service dog. We have cats, one of which is a Sphinx. We have ball pythons. So we have a very busy household as far as animals. But, just realize the time it takes in the training. We're definitely to the point where we're training at least 3 times a day, sometimes even more. She is so eager to learn, and she is so food motivated, which really surprised me because I forgot to check her food motivation before I got her. She was Vollhard tested, but I didn't test her food motivation when I went to meet her. And she will do anything for food. It is absolutely crazy. So training her, I feel like it's been really easy except for time. And even those days where I don't feel good, I have to train her and I have to get everything done with her. And that, I think, is the hardest part for me. Sometimes I don't feel good and I have to get up, I have to take her potty, I have to do all of the things that she needs to be successful. And she's very high energy as far as, her Vollhard testing. She actually tested very well as far as possible future service dog capabilities or potential. She scored all 3s and 4s, and the breeder had someone else come in, administer the Vollhard testing to all of the puppies. There was 11 puppies. And so she tested very well. And I still kind of feel like I think she's going to do well, but of course only time is going to tell. She's so young right now. but she is so eager to learn, and I'm able to train her for a lot longer sessions than I typically would with a puppy at this age, because she is just so food motivated and eager to learn. And sometimes when she is a little over energetic, or she's kind of bugging Cooper or bugging Greta, you know, she's just being a puppy, I'll do some training with her, just even a couple minutes, and it really kind of calms her down. It really helps her focus and then kind of calm down, which again is something I really didn't expect at 15 weeks old. She is very much enjoying this little treat in this feeder. Again, I am so happy I found these Wolf Pup treat feeders because this is a huge part of our daily routine. And she does get quite a few slow feeding treats. You know, sometimes she'll get like a chicken foot or a duck foot. I know, disgusting, but dogs go crazy for them. So I'm all about just making my dogs happy. And Elizaveta is now, let's see, 23 pounds. She is a big girl, but she's still kind of a peanut as far as golden retrievers. You know, a lot of golden retrievers are, I think, more closer to like 30 pounds at this age. And even her siblings, I've been seeing a lot of updates on what they've been weighing in. And she's pretty little overall. But I have this theory that it's because she just does not stop moving. So I think her metabolism is pretty high. So she now is actually on about 3.5 to 4 cups of food a day, which is a ton for her age. But she was not gaining weight as fast as we had wanted, so we increased her food when we first got her. And the other thing I've noticed in the last week is her hair on her ears and on her legs is really starting to grow in, and it's getting a little bit coarser on her legs. She's starting to lose some of that puppy fur and starting to grow kind of that more teenage fur. Sit. Good. Down. Good. Stay. Good. And we've been working a lot on like patience with her. She tends to be a little impulsive, which again, she's a puppy. I'm not at all trying to say, you know, like that I expect her to not be impulsive at this point. But I'm doing the things that I can to help try to teach her that patience is a good thing and that being calm is a good thing. Oh, I just love her little ear fur. She is wonderful in the car, which I absolutely love. She also is doing great as far as like with storms. There's a huge storm going on right now outside. Unfortunately, that's one thing that Cooper has always had, a fear of storms. I do give him these herbal, like anxiety dog treats or whatever. They're just like over the counter off of Amazon. But I do give him those when a storm is coming, just to kind of help settle him a little bit. He's always had like a really strong fear of storms. So I was very hopeful that the next dog would not have that fear, and she does not. So that's awesome. The other thing is the car. You know, Cooper is so amazing in so many ways. I hate to even say something negative about him, but he's never really been a fan of the car. He does great on airplanes. He does great on every other mode of transportation. It's funny, but cars, he just kind of tolerates it. Usually he'll just kind of turn his head towards the back of the car and he'll just kind of stay in that position. You know, he won't take any treats while he's driving. So I've always kind of felt that he maybe gets a little bit nauseous, like from driving. And that was another thing that that's another thing that was really important for me with the next dog, that we have a dog that is like really enthusiastic to be in the car. She loves the car. So she sits right next to me, either with her head in my lap or on the center console. She just does wonderful in the car. So we're good there. So yeah, I think that's about it. Just kind of our 15-week update. I figured maybe we'll start doing some updates and with kind of how her training's going and whatnot. And thanks so much for watching, and have a beautiful weekend.